Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Aurellia Fairuz Azhar. I am from class 10 MIPA 7. In this video, I will explain about a historical building. The historical building that I will explain is Parthenon. The Parthenon is located in Greece. So let's get started. Okay, so Greece is located in the continent of Europe. Precisely, we go to here. This is where Greece is located, in the continent of Europe. Let's zoom in. There it is. This is the Parthenon. It's a temple. The Parthenon is a temple to the goddess Athena built on the highest peak in the city of Athens, namely on the Acropolis, or also known as the High City. Parthenon is a building that functioned as a shrine to the goddess Athena. This temple was built as a replacement for the two existing temples, namely Athena and the Acropolis. It is named or known as the High City because it is located in a hill, like this. You can see. That's why it's called High City. I have a few photos about this building. This is how the Parthenon looks at night. This is in the daytime, and as you can see, this building is destroyed. I mean, it's partially destroyed and not completely intact. There's a history behind the destruction of this temple. Let's move on to the history. In the late Bronze Age, around 1300 before century, the Acropolis was the residence of the kings, as well as the last place of defense if the city of Athens was attacked. After the Dark Ages, the city of Athens was no longer ruled by the king. Instead, they implemented an oligarchy. Thus, the Acropolis was no longer the residence of the king. Instead, this place became a sacred place for the goddess Athena, and the Athenians built a temple for her there. The first temple of Athena on the Acropolis was first built in the Archaic period and made of limestone. When the Persians conquered Athens in the Greco-Persian Wars, they destroyed the temple just before the Battle of Salamis in 480 before century. After the war, the remains of the temple were buried under the Acropolis. For a long time after the Greco-Persian Wars, the Athenians left the Acropolis in ruins and made no attempt to renovate it as a war memorial. In the 440s before century, then the people of Athens wanted to rebuild their Parthenon bigger and more beautiful. Athens hired two famous architects, namely Callicrates and Ictinus, and the famous sculptor Phidias to build the Parthenon. This time, the entire building is made of marble and displays the latest architectural style and with a larger size. The architects of the Parthenon wanted to build the best temple in the Greece. While most Greek temples had 6 pillars at the front, the Parthenon had 8. We can see in the front of Parthenon, there are 8 pillars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Other Greek temples were decorated with frieze, which is a long bauble decorated with continuous carvings only, or metope, which is an individual stone panels decorated only, while the Parthenon had both frieze and metope. There's a series of twig leaves and metopes in the main arch type, on the Doric style column, and there is a frieze in the inner architrave on a Lonial style column. So, while other Greek temples had columns of only one style, the columns of the Parthenon were made in 2 styles. At the front of the Parthenon, in the triangular pediment, Pheidias sculpts a scene of the rivalry between the goddess Athena and the god Poseidon as the main deity of the city of Athens. On the back pediment, he placed a sculpture depicting the birth of the goddess Athena from the head of the god Zeus. The statue is like this. This is where the goddess Athena, the birth of goddess Athena from the head of the god Zeus. This is how it looks like. And unfortunately, most of the pediment is now in disrepair, and the remaining part is now kept in a museum. On the metope, just under the roof of the Parthenon, Pheidias sculpts scenes of the battle between the Lapids against the Centaurs from the story of Centauromachia, the Greeks against the Amazon from the story of Amazonomachia, the gods against the giants from the story of Gigantomachia, and the scene of the destruction of the city of Troy by the Greeks. It looks like this, the statue. In the Parthenon, Pheidias carved a huge statue of the goddess Athena, made of gold and ivory. The statue is called Athena Parthenos. Unfortunately, this statue no longer exists, because the statue has been melted down by people to take the gold. The statue looks like this. The statue is in America, in a museum in America. The Parthenon stood as a symbol of Athens' glory for about 800 years. When the Athenians converted to Christianity around AD 400, they converted the Parthenon into a Christian church, and this building remained standing for 1,000 years. However, when the Ottoman Empire ruled Greece around the 1400s AD, they were not very interested in the Christian church because they were adherents of Islam. So, over the time, the Parthenon began to be damaged and neglected. In the 1600s AD, the Ottomans used the Parthenon as a repository for ammunition in their war against the Venetians. The Ottomans thought that no one would attack the Parthenon, so their ammunition was safe there. But in 1987, someone accidentally lit the ammunition and made it explode. These incidents destroyed many of the Parthenon's sculptures and proofs. And that is why these Parthenons are partially destroyed. It is because of the ammunition explode. in 1987. And that's all my explanations about the Parthenon. Sorry if there are errors or mistakes or omissions in this video. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you later.